Don't fall for this Facebook Marketplace scam. So typically on this channel, I do all guitar gear reviews, you name it, guitar tutorials, a lot of things that have to do with gear. And if you're like me, you probably spend hours a week scrolling through Craigslist, scrolling through Facebook Marketplace, looking for great deals. I do it all the time. I'm always looking for something that I can either trade up to, or there's always the dream of, hey, I just found this Fender amp and I don't know what it is. Here it is for 50 bucks. And that's when somebody like me is gonna be like, oh, yep, I'm all over that. I want it. And I'll come right now. I'll drive 2 hours. I'll pay you cash in hand. So I'm somebody that always is looking for gear online. If you're like me, let me know in the comments. Gear horse for life. And as guitar players, we have gas. No, not that kind of gas. What I mean is gear acquisition syndrome, which means that we can't help ourselves but to want and buy more gear. Gear for me is just such a satisfying habit, something that I would say I'm addicted to, but I think it's healthy because at least I can make YouTube videos about it. I have been noticing lately, and this has happened a few times, and I'm going to share a few stories with you and some screenshots here. There's been a scam going on Facebook Marketplace that is very appealing and very easy to jump on. There's a few different ways that they're doing this. First one is they're putting up, like I said, that dream scenario where it's like a vintage Fender amp, something that's normally 1,400 bucks or so. And it says Fender amp, not tested, not sure if it's working, 50 bucks. Yeah, I'm in. Where are you? And can you meet right now? I'll go. And they say, this is what they all respond. And I'll show you some screenshots here because I've experienced this more than a few times. And it's not always worded like this, but it goes something like this. And I'll pull up the screenshots as I read this here. So we have untested Boss chorus. This is a CE1 chorus. If it's still available, I'm talking to a few people now about it. I work until 5 tomorrow if you want to check back. And they'll always say, I have a lot of people messaging me. Oh yeah, I still have it, but there's a lot of people messaging me. And that's kind of now my kickoff point where I'm like, this is a scam. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to act like there's a lot of interest in this product. And now somebody like me that is like, I need this, I'm gonna go get this right now, would very easily say, I'll pay you digitally. I'll send you money right now, just hold it for me, and I'll come pick it up later. Well, use PayPal goods and services, add the 3% and just be protected. PayPal does protect you, but there's gonna be a second layer to this in a little bit. But then they say they only have Zelle or Facebook Pay. And I don't know if Facebook Pay exactly protects you. I've never used it and I would never use it. I just don't trust it. But Zelle doesn't have any protection for a buyer. And yes, if you are a little bit more tech savvy, you're going to understand that this is a bad idea to do. But these people actually do engage in conversation. And they will talk for a while and they'll try to get some dialogue going. And a couple of strategies that I want to talk about are going to be in this next example. I saw this in a Facebook group for Fender Bassman because it's my favorite amp. And I see this ad, or not an ad, it was just a post that said, hey, I'm selling this for, it was the head and the cabinet. There was no location, another tip off. If there's no location, they're just putting a generic post, be cautious. So I comment where you're located. Then I receive a DM from Tinsley. And in this DM, you know, they turned the comments off for the post after that point, and then they just DM'd me. So they just write about the Fender amp located in New Hampshire. Where are you? I'm in New York. So he writes, I can ship it. Do you mind if I ship it? And I'm like, nobody wants to ship a vintage amp head with a gigantic 212 cabinet. Nobody. I do not care who you are. You do not want to ship that. So now I'm like, okay, this is one. This is definitely somebody that is looking to scam. So now I kind of had this video in mind as this was happening because I wanted to offer a few strategies and a few tips. If you do think that you're being scammed or you do think that this might not be a real person, and of course they don't have PayPal. They have Zelle, but no PayPal. Like, come on. So that's red flag, right away for me that they only take non-protected payment digitally. So I'm going to start trolling this person, just see how far they're willing to go with lies. So this is where I kind of started having a little bit of fun. I want to see, they put up this picture of the amp and cabinet, amp on top of the speakers. And I just write, can I see the handle of the cabinet? and this is something that's a good question to ask. If you see the pictures, there's two pieces, right? Can I see what the handle of the cabinet? I need to know if I can carry this. Can I see the handle? Now, if they really had it, they could move the head, take a picture of the cabinet handle, and send it to you. Bam. Now it's a real person. This guy obviously couldn't do that. So now I start trolling. So there's one handle on speaker cabinets, one handle on the top, maybe two on the side. So I ask, and I know that this Fender cabinet only has one handle. So I ask him, does it have both or just one? Usually the cabinets on the bottom have two. That's how it would have come standard. So now I start making stuff up completely. And I say, does it have the transfunctioner for both handles? Now, for those that don't know and have not seen Dude, Where's My Car, the Continuum transfunctioner is the device that they're pursuing in the movie Dude, Where's My Car. It's made up. So he writes, yes, it has both. And then I ask about the transfunctioner, and he says, yes, it has the transfunctioner. Again, now I'm totally sure that this guy's full of it, but something that you should be doing or something that you can try if you're really sketchy about this, you think that there's something really sketchy and off, ask a weird question. And if they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, then you're like, okay, maybe it is real. But if you ask some obscure question, they're like, yeah, of course it has that. Because this went on. Once you can send me a pic of it in the box being packed up, I'll be glad to send the money. And now this is where they try to force you here. They always write this, and I have a couple of examples of this where they say this. Steve, I am not in it for games. I'll take 50% initial and the rest once it's delivered. Once payment's made, I'll proceed with shipping and send you the tracking details. Now this leads me to where the second half of the scam can come into play. If you do send a protected form of payment or you do send a digital payment, what these people are doing is they will write your address wrong, but they'll say, yeah, it's shipped, it's on its way. And then it will get delivered to the wrong address. So in the eyes of the payment company that you trusted to send your digital payment, they're going to say, oh no, the order's fulfilled. He right here has a shipping and a tracking and a delivery notice. So from our perspective, that's it. That's really all they had to do with it. So that's something that they're doing to scam you. So if I sent this guy 50% up and then he's like, okay, it's shipped. Now he's expecting me to send the rest. I send the rest. It gets delivered to some random address. They probably put my name wrong and they probably put the wrong address. So I'll never even see the package, but there's probably nothing in it anyway. And they're able to tell the company if I take up a dispute, nope, I fulfilled the order and I shipped it out. It's at X address. Now, this has never happened to me. I've never followed through with any of this, but I don't know what the protections are in that scenario. But I assume that there's very little paper trail to the people that are doing this, so they probably can easily get away with it. Hopefully, the banks or the companies can get you your money back, but then they also get to make off with that money. And that's not the only one that did this. Here's one that was a Ibanez vintage Rube Screamer. This is obviously a typo. So again, hey, I'll take this if you've still got it. He's about 30 minutes ride. I would go right up and get it. Said I'll go pick it up tomorrow. But then here we go. I have others messaging, make sure it's still available. So I'm like, okay. And then I literally said, I'll pay you PayPal, add the 3% so it's protected, and I'll come get it tomorrow at 2:30. I can pay right now. And he writes, just message tomorrow. And then they start doing some BS about how, oh, I'd rather pick up, the money takes weeks to clear. PayPal does not take weeks to clear. PayPal's instantaneous. So he's writing, tomorrow works. Yeah, good. And then just goes black on me. So maybe somebody did it and maybe he did scam somebody and kind of just forgot about me, or maybe he realized I was asking too many questions and just kind of disappeared on me. But he literally set up to go meet me. I didn't go because I had a feeling this guy was full of it. And yeah, I said I would bring the cash and I would meet him tomorrow. He says, should work. And just checking in before I leave, should I come and meet you? No answer, so I never went. And then he just disappeared and the ad also disappeared. That was vintage Fender amp. This was a little small combo amp. Hey, are you available tonight to meet? I'll buy this amp. If I still have it, a couple of people messaging me. And I said, okay, just let me know cash is in hand. And once I said cash is in hand, they're like, this guy's not going to fall for our bait, so we're just going to leave him. And they'll ditch me. So they're waiting for somebody to say, well, look, if you have a lot of people messaging you, I want it. I'll send you the payment right now and just hold it for me. Don't do that. Okay, so I guess that is the extent of the scam. They're looking to get people to send them money, obviously, and they're finding ways to do it without repercussion. So I just wanted to hopefully help somebody out, give you a heads up, be vigilant about this stuff, be careful who you send your money to, ask weird questions, ask questions that have nothing to do with the product, ask for extra pictures. If they're honest and real people, they won't have any problem. If you're going to be spending over $1,000 on a thing, they'll take a picture of it. And don't let them bully you by saying, oh, look, I'm not in it for games. Like, that seems to be their line, and the same one that I've gotten a couple times. Don't fall for it, and hopefully this never happens to any of you out there. If you have any experiences with Facebook scams, please leave them in the comments below so that others can also be vigilant and be careful about this. And if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.